A company replaced all of its managers with coaches, and the employees became 20% more productive, and they were much happier for it. Joining us on 710 KURV, a leadership expert on workplace culture, Coach Michael Lin, joining us. Tell me, this didn't have to do with running laps, because I don't know if that's not running is a pretty good incentive for doing things.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, coaching in a business environment and coaching in sports, it's kind of the same idea. You kind of employing the coaching in the sports arena in business. Okay. Now, the reason this works is because America, our economy has become knowledge based. Pretty much most of the employees here in America are all knowledge workers. And then for knowledge workers, they understand that their job security, their job security is based on their skill set, and their skill set is their job security. So they understand they need to constantly update their skill set and improve their skill set. So not only can they earn money today, they can also earn money 20 years down the road and earn more money 20 years down the road. And the things that they want to learn are number one, how do I do my current job? How do I do it better? The actual hard skills of doing their jobs. Number two, organizational knowledge. Things like, in order to get this done, you need to collaborate with the other department, that person in that department. And number three, how do I get collaboration from the other person from the other department? He might be busy, or she might want to go left, but I want to go right. So the skill of influence and persuasion comes in handy. And number four is industry insight. You need to understand who are the vendors, who are the customers, who are the suppliers, who is paying whom, all that money and then people's interest, all that interconnection, interplay. You need to understand where everybody stands. And then the last thing they want to learn is wisdom on life, because life is constantly throwing some roadblocks at you. So how do you overcome your roadblocks? How do you feel better when you feel down? How do you how do you view overcoming challenges? How do you expand your thinking? How do you stretch your own mind? This is very much like an athlete, or just any kind of exercise in general. You go to a gym, you hire a personal trainer, and the trainer makes you lift up heavy stuff and put it back down. And then you're gonna feel like the kind of a burning sensation, but it's pleasant burning sensation, and you are growing, and you feel good about it. So once you treat employees this way, they like it because you're actually helping them. It's the old adage, give a man a fish, he eats for a day, or teach a man how to fish, he eats for life. As opposed to you treat your employees like the printer, and they're not gonna like it. So what? So you're gonna use me until I die and then replace me? Instead of treating them like a printer, you treat them like a human being. You help them to grow, and they're gonna like it, and you're gonna get loyalty from them toward you, the individual manager, as well as the corporation. That's why it works.
Joining us on 710 KURV, Coach Michael Lin, leadership expert and workplace culture expert. So, why is it that managers tend to miss the mark? Managers are essentially really only good, and I'm being very reductive when I say this, at just cracking the whip and just kind of just pressuring their employees into doing the job that needs to be done. For whether it's the sake of time or whether it's, hey, we really have to squeeze blood from a stone and meet these production numbers that the guys upstairs really want. So what is it with managers that misses the mark? Why is it that what is it in managerial culture that misses all these things that you're talking about with coaching?
Okay, it's the old school thinking, and also the task oriented managerial training. Okay, now that mindset of cracking the whip, it works in 1950s. and with a manual labor oriented economy. And if we go all the way back, uh, when Henry Ford was building his Model Ts, he had Pinkerton detectives on his factory floor carrying guns. That's 100 years ago.
Well, that's one way to do it. Yeah.
Today, yeah, today that's gonna definitely not gonna work. Um, Today, there is a lack of emphasis on the human aspect of management training. A lot of the management training emphasizes on what tasks need to be done, the procedure of the factory, from raw material to a finished car, what's the procedure? And then there's a little bit on who does what profession does what, but there's very little of the human aspect, human emotions. This is where emotional intelligence comes into play. This is managers' emotional maturity comes into play. The knee-jerk reaction when employee is not happy with the order you just issued, the knee-jerk reaction is I'm gonna crack even harder. But a manager who has emotional intelligence, and more importantly, emotional maturity, would understand if I were in that position, I would feel the same. So how do you present what you're gonna present in a way that people welcome it? People will say, "Oh, I agree. Yeah, this is the right way to do things." It might be a little bit challenging in the short term, but in the long term, everybody benefits. Outside customers benefit, corporation benefit, and me, the employee, I benefit too.
Where can we find more information? What organization are you for? You from?
Or I work for myself. People can come connect with me at CoachMichaelLin.com. That's LIN, CoachMichaelLin.com. I do training and coaching for organizations all over America, coast to coast. I travel from East Coast to West Coast to teach seminars.